What is shaking, everybody? Look, something.
Hey, that's a
changed,
great intro.
change.
Holy,
You like that?
Oh
Did
man,
it.
you were young. You were young in that first shot. Who was that young kid?
Yeah, that was me. I don't know why they came with the shot of me pushing Kevin Johnson, but
was that Jordan?
Kevin Johnson.
Oh,
you don't think I'm
Johnson.
stupid, do you? Yeah, Kevin Johnson was much easier to push than Jordan was.
Yeah,
can't push Jordan around. Why would I do something like that? I mean, I could say he was really good. That's why I didn't push him. But by that standard, I wouldn't have pushed anybody. I would have let everybody slide. I had to push somebody. I had to carry my weight. But for those that don't know, that are joining the podcast that didn't listen to the radio as much, Dennis has been on with me on the radio for a decade plus, and we do it every Friday. We talk about the NFL. We break it down from a handicapping standpoint, and if you want to read some of Dennis's stuff and find out what he's about, it's pigsfootball.com. It's Quack Size Sports. Don't ask, just know it's Quack Size Sports, but pigsfootball.com get you to the site. There's paid stuff there. There's also a lot of free stuff there. There's stories, all kinds of good stuff you can check out. And Dennis has been a professional handicapper for 30 years or so. So we like to get people 44. Oh my 44, God. I like to get people on what they're doing.
Amazing, you know.
How do you do it? Yeah. How do you do it? It's amazing you're able to do it. So we go back and forth and we talk NFL football. This format's going to be a lot of fun because, well, we can just do it till we're done doing it. We don't have to do 15 minutes. We don't have to do 10 minutes. We don't have to deal with a program director bitching about, well, nobody wants to hear about that game. Ray Ratto. Yeah. You know, this format, we can say, fuck you, program directors. We're going to go as long as we want to because we don't have one. Guess what? Because I am the program director and we're going to be on as long as I want to cover games and as long as you have stuff to say. So we'll give out some picks that Dennis finds intriguing. We'll talk about some games that I find intriguing. And as always, every single week, we'll talk the Niners. We'll talk Niner game, and this week they're going against Seattle. So how are you, my friend? It's good to see you. Usually I just hear you. Now we actually get to lick each other. I'm not sure if one another is happy about that circumstance per se, but we get to see each other.
Well, I like the radio format, quite frankly, because I can walk around in my office and check numbers while I'm talking to you. This sitting down is a little confining, but it sure is good to be with you, Tom. You know, we started doing it on that old little tiny radio station you worked for in 2005.
Is that what it was?
It was 2005.
Wow, 20 years. Ago. Wow.
And then your producer at the time, Daniel, helped us out getting onto a weekly basis, about 10 years ago. And the great thing, and I've done radio and TV with other people, and you're the best. You know, that's just the way it is. You make your guests better than they are without you. And our relationship is such that I respect what you know and how you see things. And we don't have to compete with each other. This isn't an ego war. I'm right, you're right. We know that it's not 100% equation, you know, and there was, let me think, maybe once or twice in 20 years that you were right and I wasn't. But other than that, you know.
And I'm proud of those moments. I'm proud of those moments. Hey, I appreciate the words, but look, I grew up playing team sports. If the team wins, everybody wins. If it's a good show, it makes everybody look good. And that's how I've always looked at it. So, all right, let's start out.
One thing, you are missed on that little radio station. I talked to plenty of people saying, it took that station off my dial. I don't need it, you know. And I can't tell you how many commutes you entertained me when I was stuck on the Bay Bridge and listen to you, and whether you had any number of different hosts during the years going back to Ralph days, you know, it was just, you were just wonderful, Tom. And so I
appreciate that.
You know, I'm saying that not as a hype as much as a sincere appreciation for who you are and what you do.
Well, I appreciate that. Little and getting smaller by the day. So we will see. We will see where that ends up. All right, let's go right to it. Let's get Niners, Seahawks. An interesting game, division game to open up the season. And I'm more apt to look at the home divisional underdog that I think has a better defense. Now, I don't know how everyone's defense, offense, special teams going to play this year. I'm going by last year and how well the players graded out last year. Seattle had a top 10 defense last year. I think they'll have a top 10 defense this year. It's always tough to play there, but you have Sam Darnold. Can he be what he was, the Sam Darnold in Minnesota? That offensive line was terrible last year, Dennis. It was awful. Can it be better? I know they got Zabel from one of the Dakota states. By the way, there should be only one Dakota. Do we need two Dakota? I'll answer that for you. No, we don't need two Dakota. Dakota is just fine. So that, who knows how the running game's going to be? Who knows how the passing game's going to be if you don't have an offensive line? The Niners, we don't know, Dennis. What's their defense going to be like? They got so many rookies they're counting on this year. We know the wide receiver room is depleted. Christian McCaffrey was just put on the injured, not the injured list, but like what do they call that? The
physically unable to perform.
The injury reports. The injury reports that came out that he like had some with his calf, so he's limited at practice. Although he's practicing today, I heard. So we'll see how he goes. But it's the first games are always tough for me. My lean would be better defense, home division dog, but I'm not all that sold on it. Let me ask you how you see this game, and then maybe how you see the 49ers prospects this year.
Yeah, I might do that a little bit in reverse order as we look at the Niners. As you know from our past conversations, I'm a big fan of Kyle and John Lynch.
Yeah.
And I say that at a time when I wasn't enthused by their initial hiring 7 years ago. I thought that Jeb was taking a stab in the dark, bringing in. I was friends with the gentleman that failed in Detroit as a general manager after being a great player and a great guy, and Matt
Millen. Yeah.
And I was afraid John, who's just as bright as Matt and wonderful guy, might have the same slip ups moving into the management position. Well, I'm so glad I was wrong, because not only has John been a great general manager for the team, but Kyle, I respect a lot as a head coach, and he gets knocked here and there because he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet. Well, okay, He's been to a couple. That's a pretty good track record that most people do. Here's my concern mostly about the 49ers. When they came in 2017, 18, whatever it was, they were given permission to revamp a roster that was depleted from the days of Steve Young and company. And so they were given full permission to do whatever they have to do, and they did. There was only one defensive player that started their first year in management that was a starter the year before. I mean, we're talking about total team. Well, they're at a stage right now that they may need that kind of overall again. They've lost a lot of the people that they brought in that contributed for a number of years, that got old or traded. And I love Brock Purdy. I think he does the job fine.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Niners only won 6 games last year was much more attributable to the defense than it was to what Brock did with the offense. And so now you bring in Robert Saleh back to be the defensive coordinator. I think that's all good. But I'm afraid that the Niners are in a stage where they need to do some rebuilding. And I'm not sure the fans and maybe even the organization is quite has the permission to allow them to do what they need to do. That we may be getting to a stage where the Niners are going to fall into mediocrity, where they're going to be a team that's going to compete, but they're not going to be at the top, and they're not going down to the bottom where most teams have to go to really rebuild. And so I have no idea about this game in Seattle, except this. I like the Niners for this reason. Sam Darnold's success, and when he was a 3rd overall selection in the 2018 draft, I thought he should have been the first pick. Actually, Baker Mayfield went first to the Cleveland that year. I watched him at USC thinking he's got it. He's got that it, and of course he didn't. And Minnesota was his fourth team, and he didn't succeed in the Jets. That's nothing new for a quarterback. He failed in Green Bay. I mean, not Green Bay, but with Carolina.
Carolina, yeah.
And then he went off to spend a year with us here in San Francisco, and was a backup and like that. And then he had the 14-win regular season last year with Minnesota. What was different about Minnesota? Great offensive line. What's Sam Darnold's problem? Escaping a rush. He is immobile. And so you get a situation where behind a great offensive line, he's going to be able to demonstrate, to use his accuracy strengths. Without an offensive line, he doesn't have time to do it. And that's the problem with Seattle. He goes to a team with one of the worst offensive lines statistically last year. And even with Geno Smith, who can avoid some tackles, running their offense, that's where I think the problem will be. So Niners, okay. Long-term projections, I'm a little concerned that, this Christian McCaffrey thing, the people that I've talked to for the last 2 years, or at least a year now, on the inside, really don't think he's ever going to be able to return to the form he was, that he's fighting an injury that's going to be debilitating for years. So not a big play or a play for me, but my leanings right now would be the Niners.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, it should be an interesting game and an interesting year for the Niners. All right, let's just jump around the league a little bit. Let's go to the other big game of the weekend, the Packers and the Lions. It's funny, Dennis. I was talking yesterday, and I said Jordan Love to me last year wasn't as good as he was the year before. They just didn't see. And I looked at the numbers. He was the exact same. He was like the same quarterback that he was the year before. Threw for, I think, 7 fewer touchdowns, but his passer rating was a little bit higher. They're both around 96. I mean, they were separated literally by 1 passer rating point, which lets you know that his year was pretty similar. I love the Josh Jacobs signing. Was fantastic. They always have a good, if not really good, offensive line there. And they got tons of wide receivers, although a couple of them are hurt. I think Kraft is a good tight end. So they have the weapons. I still don't know about Love, to be honest with you. We'll see. And now they get Micah Parsons. So where do you see them going against Detroit? He loses both their coordinators, still has their head coach, who is the heartbeat of that team, still has their weapons, gets Aiden Hutchinson back, which is a big, big deal. And people don't realize how beat up that team was in the playoffs last year. Their defense was just beat to hell. So the core of that team is still there and still fairly young. I think it's Packers -2, 2.5, right around there. 1.5, 2, 2.5. I'd probably go Packers. It's another one I'm not interested in, to be honest, but I'm curious your thoughts on it.
Well, first of all, Detroit, who I had picked to win the Super Bowl last year, and during the regular season, people say, "Oh, what a great pick! What a great pick!" And I kept saying from midseason on, "Nope, not going to happen," because they had fallen into that trap. We in this office we call it the Peyton rule, and that was Peyton Manning used to leave the Colts routinely 12, 13, 14 wins in 16 game seasons and go flying into the playoffs as a double-digit favorite and lose. And he did that. He only won 1 Super Bowl as quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. And what Kevin, my son who works with me, discovered was he did this chart to show that teams that rank this high for this long have they fail. And I think it goes back to motivation. I think it's the expectation factor. And so when we were watching the Lions, they outscored their opponents by a combined 222 points last year, which was best in the league. That you don't have it. Even the 49ers, when they were dominant under Montana, when they lost to the Vikings, it was that kind of situation. It was in the playoffs. It was easy. Just get it done. We beat the Rams 52-0 last week. Let's win this one easy too. And there isn't a spark. There isn't the something they need to overcome. And so with that said, we thought Detroit would get tripped up. So I backed up my Super Bowl bet by putting the money line bet on the Washington Commanders to open the playoffs. Not because I really thought they were going to win the game straight up, but I didn't think they were going to cover the 10-point line. And then they did win it, at a 4-1 payoff. So that was good. So I think that was the window for Detroit. I love Dan Campbell. I love his aggressiveness. You lose both your offensive and defensive coordinators. Aaron goes to the Jets and Ben goes to the Chicago Bears. That's got to take a little bit of a toll on your preparation, no matter who you bring in. It's a different set of cards to play with now. And the rhythm that those guys had developed as an organization was right on target. They liked each other. There was nothing in Detroit coming out, even when Hutchinson got hurt. I mean, he wanted the whole year to find a way to come back and play. Even though he wasn't, he said, I could be ready for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was a kind of thing he just wanted to. And so everything was right. Did they miss their window? I don't know. They got so much talent off of the trade of Goff versus, for Matt
Stafford. Yep. Uh-huh.
They got all those draft checks and they didn't miss with them. Their organization used, and no one knew that the Rams would go from winning the Super Bowl to the fewest wins ever for defending champions, 5, which was a year that the Lions got their first pick. So they didn't anticipate that being that high in the draft. It was one benefit after another in the draft. The talent's still there. Was last year the year with the spark? What's it going to be to come together? That's big questions with Detroit. Green Bay, well, they're always, in the mix. You look at them every year. The fact that you said, well, Jordan Love, was, had the same stats last year, and I thought it was down a notch. He's always, in my mind, down a notch because he doesn't finish. he doesn't finish. So no matter what you do statistically, he's not it. Whatever it is, they went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, 2 guys that are in and on the way to the Hall of Fame. I don't think Jordan Love's Hall of Fame material. And so, as much as he statistically does things, I've seen him fade both in games and in seasons and down the stretch where a Montana or a Steve Young or a Patrick Mahomes would be picking it up a notch to take it to the next level. He disappears. And so that's why I think you say, oh yeah, he didn't, statistically he'll be exactly the same this year. Will it be enough for the Packers? I don't think so. I think they're playing in a division that may have 4 tough teams if the Bears bounce up. And if Minnesota finds their quarterback in, J.J. McCarthy, this is a tough division. And so this is a great division race to start with. The home teams always win these games on opening day. So I like Green Bay in this spot.
Got it. We need to explore your statement. You said he's always down a notch, because I'm not sure if that's an enigma, a paradox, or what it is. Because if he's always down a notch, wouldn't you eventually put him at the place where you think he is? And then is he down a notch from that place? Or do you just leave him relative? It's always down a notch relative to everybody else. I don't know.
Are you running profits?
I was stuck on that.
Is that a political statement?
No, that was like black hole stuff. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure out the event horizon.
Once again, it's the intelligence of Tolbert on full display here.
I'm just trying to figure it out. Hey, you know what? Let's go to tonight's game. Get the Chargers and the Chiefs. And where are they? Sao Paulo? I know they're in Brazil. I'm not sure exactly where the hell they are in Brazil. Maybe playing at a schoolyard. That'd be sweet. So this is a game that's interesting because the Chargers always play the Chiefs tough and seem to cover quite a bit, especially in Kansas City. But that's usually when they're getting 7-8 points. They're only getting 3 in this in Sao Paulo. Thank you, Daniel. You know what? Obviously, their Chargers line's going to be down a little bit with the loss of Slater. You got to move Alt over. They may have had the 2 best tackles, tandem tackles, when they had Alt and Slater. Now they only have one of them. They got Amar in Hampton from North Carolina. That'd be a decent 1-2 punch, although I'm not really sure what Najee has left. Herbert's, again, one of those guys, Dennis, that I really, really like, but there's always a but there with him. There shouldn't be big, strong, strapping, big arm, all this. And then when the moment really kind of rises, he hasn't risen with it consistently enough early in his career. Receivers, I like McConkey, except for the fact he wears his helmet too big. He looks like the great Kazoo. They running around out there. The helmet's super big. So
no, it's what was it? Who wore the Darth Vader helmet in?
Rick Moranis.
Yeah,
Rick. I know exactly where you're going before you got there. I know you're going space. You're going Spaceballs where you're going. Yeah,
Spaceballs.
Exactly.
Perhaps the greatest movie ever.
I love Spaceballs.
They talk about Citizen Kane and some other movies, but Spaceballs. There you go.
Lone Star. No one else would give me the raspberry. Anyway, now their defense is really good. It's interesting because you would think AFC, Chiefs, AFC West, Chiefs, Chargers, shootout. This may be a defensive. It's possible it's a defensive struggle because both these teams are probably better off on the defensive end than they are the offensive end. Although I did expect Mahomes to be better this year. I expect that passing game to click in at some point when everyone is healthy. I'll probably just watch it. I have a hard time betting against the Chiefs when it's a field goal or under, but how do you see it?
Well, first of all, this is interesting that this is a home game, in quotes, for the Chargers.
Yeah.
And the fact that they gave up a home game against their primary division rival, who's won the AFC West 9 straight years, the fact that they gave up, somehow lost this home game, seems amazing to me. While you're going to be chasing the Chiefs. Now, it may be a benefit to us from a wagering standpoint, because had this game been played at SoFi Stadium, my numbers say it would have been a pick'em. But we go to Corinthians Stadium Arena in Brazil, and they give the Chargers 3 points, and today they don't want to move off the 3, so they're messing. The books don't want to move off the 3. So they're giving us, 0 or 2 or 5 vig cost, to try to attract some wagering on the Chargers. Well, I got my wagering on the Chargers. I love this game. I think the plus 3 points is a benefit. That because beating the Chargers straight up in LA may have been a tougher challenge, given how many close games the Chiefs played last year. They only outscored their opponents by 59 points over the course of the 17 games. So here we've got the Chargers, and the pause on Herbert is he hasn't won a postseason game. He's starting his 6th season. He has been to the playoffs twice. He gave up a big lead. He didn't, but his defense did against Jacksonville in his first postseason game and lost. And then last year, I love that play. I love Houston over the Chargers. This was a play.
Yes.
Everybody was talking, they're going to have to make this is such a blowout. Poor Houston. Yeah. Thank you. I'll take poor Houston. And they blew them out. They blew them out. And that was after it looked tough in the first quarter. And then Herbert made a mistake, threw a pick or whatever, and we got the ball, and it was, the landslide began. So I kind of like the fact that Justin Herbert hasn't accomplished anything yet in the postseason, because I think it's in front of him. I think he has a talent to get it done, and kind of like the Phillip Rivers situation, where a great quarterback during the regular season for the Chargers and never all the way to the Super Bowl once he got to the playoffs. I think we're going to get to the playoffs. I think the Chargers are going to knock off the Chiefs not only tonight, but I think they're going to beat them in that division race this year. And I think that the Chiefs, now, mind you, I'm looking at stats. There were times, I remember I was doing a radio show for ESPN in 2012, predicting the demise of Tom Tolbert, not Tom Tolbert, Tom
God
Brady.
dang. What the hell? How'd I get into it?
That came later.
Jeez.
That came later.
So, yes, it did. Yes, it did.
The demise of Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, because they won it too often. That never happened.
Yeah.
Brady won the division every year that he was quarterback after 2003. He missed the 2008 season because he was injured on opening day against Kansas City.
Yeah.
But in any case, so I'm concerned that saying this is the Chiefs down thing might fall right in the pattern with my 2012 prediction that this is where the Patriots stumble and they didn't, and so it's Patrick Mahomes. Anybody that follows football goes, yeah, that kid's pretty good. He's just amazing. And you see it, that it factor, you see it in him. You see that when the game is on the line, when it matters, he gets better. As Steve Young once said on your show, he said, it appears to me that the game slows down for him at critical moments where he sees it. Now at the same time, he was saying the only two other quarterbacks he's ever seen it with in that same interview with you was with Peyton Manning and with Brock Purdy. And so we hope that Brock, has that same thing. But you see it with him. You've probably played golf, given how much you've played with a golfer that will be playing around all day and then all of a sudden needs a shot or two and gets it. And that's the same situation with Patrick. And so we'll see. I'm betting against Patrick Mahomes, but I'm betting on him because this is our first rated play of the year. And I'm on the Chargers tonight plus the 3.
I like it. Might have some action tonight. Okay, let's get to the other big game. We got this is the one I think I like. And again, for those that don't know how it goes here when I have Dennis on, generally speaking, if I kind of like a game and Dennis says, nah, I like the other side, then I either will bet his side or I won't bet it. If I like a game, and I like it.
Oh, the pressure.
And I like a game, and Dennis says, I like the other side. I just push off from shore and say, best of luck. Good luck. I don't always go with Dennis. There are a few times here and there where I'm gonna go my own way, as Fleetwood Mac says, and just give it a shot because I have strong convictions. There's some games I don't. Some games I kind of feel one way and I go, I kind of like this side. And Dennis goes, no, I like this side. And I'm like, okay, I can see it that way. And then I'll go that side. Like tonight, I didn't really have a strong opinion, but I'm going to probably end up going the Chargers tonight and watch the game, have a beer, and hopefully get paid along with it.
Pretty much the outcome of the game will determine how many beers are required for the game.
No, I'm going to have the same amount of beers, Dennis. That's the way I roll. All right, let's go Bills Ravens. I like the Ravens. I like the Ravens here. I thought the Ravens probably should have won last year's playoff game, lost it. They had the drop in the end zone, and it's funny because everybody says Lamar Jackson can't win the big ones, can't his playoff performances, say MVPs, and he can't. He actually played okay in that game. He had a couple spots where you're like, yeah, you'd like to play better and you'd like to make that throw, and that wasn't a good decision. But like he played well enough to win that game. And if I can't remember the tight end's name, Mark, blank on his last name, Mark Andrews. Yeah, if Mark Andrews catches that ball, then everybody talks about how Lamar Jackson won the go. Look at Lamar Jackson finally won in the row, won a playoff game.
Well, we'd be going to overtime if he caught that pass.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, my bad. So I don't know. I just feel like this is a game. This is one of those like kind of both really good teams. And you just feel it. You just feel like, you know what? This seems like Baltimore's game. I don't really have a great reason for it. And again, this is the type of game that if you like Buffalo, I'll be like, okay. Because I don't have a strong feeling. I just have that feeling like this is Baltimore's game. Baltimore's going to win this game. How do you see it?
Well, first of all, I think this is the best two teams in football.
I think you're right.
And last year, the Ravens met Buffalo in Baltimore early in the season. Buffalo had won 2 in a row on the road. I think they came in 4-0. It was something around that week. And 35-10, Baltimore blew them out.
Yep.
Then you come to the playoffs. You're in the divisional round, and you're playing for who's going to meet Kansas City in the AFC Championship game the next week. And both these teams have chips on their shoulders. Lamar Jackson, because he hasn't, gone through the playoffs as a winner. And the Bills, of course, 4 straight losses in Super Bowls beginning in 1990 and not having been back with a lot of good football teams in the meantime and real close, at 17 seconds away one year when they were playing Kansas City, it appeared, and Mahomes didn't let it die. So both teams with chips on their shoulders. And how close did it come? I don't like to brag, but we were 8-1-1 in the postseason last year. And that was getting the benefits of early lines this particular week, the divisional round. But nevertheless, our only loss in the playoffs was Baltimore. We had Baltimore over Buffalo. Mm-hmm. My concern about that game was they'd already beat him 35-10. And so as good as the Bills were, they're looking at films where this team beat them 35-10. Who do you think's getting the motivation from looking at those past results? As good as Buffalo was, they handed Kansas City their first loss of the season in Buffalo. I thought that was the toughest pick to make in the postseason last year. And sure enough, it turned out to be our only loser. And I had Baltimore purely because they're just too good. They're just too good. Yeah. Now we come back a year later, they're just too good. And now they're coming off a loss and the Mark Andrews drop that would have sent it to overtime. Yeah. All that stuff. Well, that bodes well for Baltimore. And so, okay. Now, opening day, Buffalo at home. They're a pretty tough team to beat at home. They didn't lose there last year. And so, that's pretty tough to think they're going to lose at home. The spread is opened as a 1.5 point favorite for Buffalo. It's moved as high as 1.5 point favorite for Baltimore. Right now, it's 1 point favorite for Baltimore. I think the game is as close as the spread. This isn't going to be a play for us. I wouldn't take you off Baltimore. Yep. Have at it. I may put $100 on it to watch it, but at the same time, unless something breaks for us in the next 48 hours, it won't be a service as a play.
And I did. Speaking of betting $100, now that I go back and think about it, you said that if Andrews catches that touchdown, it goes to overtime. I would have at that time bet you $100 that Harbaugh goes for 2 to try to win the game, because that's what he does.
Oh, sure. Well, that's what he had already determined to do on opening day against Kansas City, when they thought it was Isaiah made the catch at the back of the end zone, and the game at the time was a 7-point game, and Harbaugh already held up his fingers. Two, we're going for 2, and then as it turned out, that likely was ruled out on replay, and he never got that chance.
Maybe that was how many buses they were taking back to the airport. 2. He was telling them 2 buses back to the airport.
2 buses. Yeah. No, there's 3. There's 3 buses.
All right. Let's get to, I know. There's even 3 buses for NBA teams that travel. It's unbelievable. So much has changed since I used to play in the NBA.
I once took the 3rd bus and I was the only one on it. That everybody else had crowded on the first 2 buses. And it's weird to show up with a whole bus and be way to the crowd. You're the only one on that bus.
No, there is no crowding on buses anymore. Everyone has their designated bus. Front bus is players, coaches, front office is 3rd bus. 2nd bus is training staff. And then 3rd bus, I'm on 3rd bus. That's like media. But it's the weirdest. It's like crazy. It's like, what, 3 buses? We used to have 1 bus back in the NBA. 1. Now there's 3. I said, do you have specialists for like the left Achilles heel and the right Achilles? No, this is our left Achilles heel specialist. That's our right Achilles heel specialist. It's like, what are we doing? Like, how much of this do we need? Like, I get everyone's trying to spend more and more and more to give their athletes more and more of an advantage. It's gotten out of control. And here's the thing I'm going to tell everybody, you might not even know this. So I don't even know if I've talked about this during the show at some point or at any point. So back when we take the bus, it was generally just players and coaches. Bus stops, everybody gets up and leaves at their pace, whatever. Every once in a while, there may have been front office person or somebody that was with somebody like a guest. Not often, but bus stops, everybody gets up and leaves. Now, if you happen to be on a bus with a player, generally only happens when you're going to the airport after the game or you're going back to the hotel after the game. Everybody just gets on a bus to get back to the hotel here. When you stop, everybody that's on the bus that's a non-player has to wait for the players to get off the bus.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting in the fourth row, you sit there and wait until all the players get off the bus. And I looked around and I said, when the fuck did this happen? Like, what is this? Wait, we're waiting for the players to get off the bus, and you do it because everybody else does it. And I'm not going to rock the boat, so I'm like, whatever. I go, wait, what? I go, you got to be kidding me. I go, we can't just get off the bus. Now I got to wait till the players. So I want to know who started that. If I could pay $10,000 to find out who started that, I would find out who started that. And I would beat him with a bag of nickels is what I would do. Cause that's just like the dumbest thing ever.
It's really amazing. I remember Lon Simmons and having conversation. I loved Lon.
Love Lon.
And I'm talking to Lon one day and he said, Dennis, it's different today. And he's talking 1985. And he's saying,
I know.
Different. He says it's different today because when we first came to San Francisco, and he came as was a broadcast partner with Russ Hodges in 1958, he said, I used to play golf with Willie, talking about Mays, and Jimmy Davenport and other players. And he said, now, because the players are in a different financial category than us, they don't commiserate with us. They're in a different class. They live in their mansions in Atherton, and we're still living in Millbrae. And it's just that separation. And so what you're showing there is the same kind of, oh yeah, you're so special, you're an athlete. We'll just sit here and genuflect while you. Oh, that's ridiculous.
I granted that. It's like, well, all you have to do is say we're not doing this anymore. It's ridiculous. And I think a lot of the players would be fine with it.
Oh,
it's just that's the way it is.
The players are handed these benefits. They're not demanding them.
No, they're not at all. All right, let's go. Okay, here's another. Again, it takes me a couple weeks to kind of watch the teams, look at the stats, pour over the numbers before I have a really good feel for who the teams are. So these are more feel. I feel like I want to take the Giants over the Commanders. The Commanders were just, I mean, my goodness, what they hit 130% of their fourth downs last year. I mean, they didn't miss on fourth downs. Like every fourth down, it was like, got it. I mean, Daniels was incredible. McLaurin had the year of his life. Like everything just seemed to work for the Commanders last year, and they caught fire. So this year, I just think it's going to be a little bit harder. The Giants front four, they're not a good team, but the front four is really good. I don't like Russell Wilson, but at least he is a professional quarterback, and they have one of the better wide receivers in the game. So I and 6 points. I don't know. I guess, Dennis, I'm saying I think the Giants might be a little bit better early on. And again, I'm getting a divisional dog, and I just don't think it's going to go as easy for the Commanders this year. So I would love it if you love the Giants, and I'd say, oh, hell yeah, let's go. But what do you think about Giants and Commanders?
I just hope I have the courage to make it the top pick. That's what I hope for. Because I noticed last night we had long conversations about the Eagles and Giants before the game, Eagles and Cowboys. And I said, there's two sides of this game. The Eagles are too good to bet against, and the Cowboys have all the motivation. And I'm not going to get caught on the wrong side of a spread because he loves you. He just loves you.
I mean, most people go to jail for 10 years for that. Easy.
And I felt like, as I watched the game, I said, okay, I didn't take that game, even though I saw the motivation with the Cowboys. Yeah, I made a little bet on the Cowboys and that worked out. But it wasn't on the service. That was okay. I skipped it. Same kind of situation here. Do I have the courage to pull the trigger on a play I know is the right play? And because you got a situation here. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah, just keep telling. You know what, Lou, believe it or not, she has a dog friend that she gets down with. So she's listening right now. She doesn't know who to take this week. She usually likes the dogs, of course. Yeah. That's a given. And so I think she'll like the Giants. I think she'll like that play.
Anyway, so here's the situation with this particular game. There's two teams that I've got on my suspect list this year. And I always put a team that was a cellar dweller for a number of years and then leaped into the playoffs. And so the two teams that fall in that category this year are the Denver Broncos and the Washington Commanders.
Yep.
It appears to me that Sean Payton's got this Denver team pretty well together.
I know.
Solid. If Bo Nix, comes back and has an adequate year in his second year, okay, there's a lot of good things there to like about Denver. Washington, since they beat the Detroit Lions, they've given up 160 points in their next 3 games. Now, 3 of those were preseason games. Okay, that doesn't count. Really? Are you sure? 58-18, they lost their first game to New England. Do you think maybe that they're a little overconfident? They gave up 55 points to Philadelphia in the championship. They had everything go their way. Remember, they were losing to the Bears minus a Hail Mary pass midseason.
Yes, they were. Yeah.
And they lost their opener last year. And they didn't start getting people's attention until they beat Cincinnati in the 3rd week. And Cincinnati was coming off their close game at Arrowhead Stadium that they lost when they called pass interference, and that allowed Kansas City to get in position to kick the winning field goal. And so Cincinnati was still thinking about that Monday night at home against the Commanders. No problem here. Big problem there. And it was kind of the downfall of Cincinnati, overconfident, and the uptick for Washington. And then Washington started this. Jalen Daniels, that's the best rookie season ever, bar none.
Yeah.
That goes in front of what Dan Marino accomplished with Miami and things like that. That's just it. That's the best rookie quarterback season ever. And it all went his way. And the few times they played him in the preseason, he ran into the end zone too. And it's like, same thing. Yeah, not so fast, Maxwell. You give up 160 points in 4 games. That matters. That matters. I think their defense, which was spiked last year because of the play of some veterans that Dan Quinn brought in, those guys are now long a tooth. They had their pop. They had it. I think the Commanders are in trouble this year. And so if that's true, no better place to take it than opening day against the Giants. Now, look at this stat. And Kevin hits me with this all the time. You can't do that anymore. It doesn't matter that the public isn't, you used to win because you bet when the line went one way and the public was betting the other way and all this. And that was always.
Well, your son sounds like Al Davis, a little bit.
He's a little bit like Al Davis. And so anyway, you get to a situation where, it still matters. And when you've got a game where the Washington Commanders opened as a 7.5 point favorite, and 80% of the money, 76% accurately speaking, 76% of the money are on the Commanders, and the lines dropped 1.5 points. Yeah, that's not dumb money moving that line. You got to always respect. I've said this for years. I'm not trying to beat the books. That's too hard. Win with them. They'll tell you where they're going to fleece the public. Go there. fleece the, and so there it is. There it is. Will I have courage on Sunday? Oh, it puts so much pressure on me, Tom. But right now, I'm telling you,
have that courage.
The New York Giants are sweet, sweet, sweet.
I'm on him. Sweet. I liked it. My read was right. All right. I'm going to give you if you want a game that you want to throw out there that I haven't covered. I'll spend most of my time throughout the year hitting some of the bigger games, but they're going to be, as the season goes on, I'll have more of an opinion on some of these games and may throw out some giant commander type games. But is there a game out there you're keeping your eye on?
Oh yeah, there is. I'm looking for a team that isn't ready, right?
Okay.
And beat them. Last year, Kevin had the Carolina Panthers on opening day and said they're not ready. And they got blown out by the Saints 41-3 or something. That kind of situation. What team isn't ready? I think the New Orleans Saints aren't ready. And they're playing the Arizona Cardinals. And I think the Cardinals might be ready. Kyler Murray, who plays a style of game that exposes him to a lot of injury during the season. I like him early in the season more than I might in December because of that factor. He takes his Cardinals team into New Orleans to play Saints, and Spencer Rattler has won the job as their quarterback. Well, when Kellen Moore had signed on, left the offensive coordinator position with the Eagles to take over the head coaching position in New Orleans, he thought Derek Carr was going to be his quarterback. And then he started the three-ring circus to find what guy is going to be the starting quarterback. None of them look like they're headed to Canton to me. And so you get a situation where I think the Saints are vulnerable. And I think that the Cardinals, who have a recent history of blowing away inferior competition, and that's because they're not good enough to be overconfident, but they're good enough to take advantage of a bad team. Once again, we've got a spread going one way, opened at 3.5 with the Saints, the road favorite. The public's on the same. The
Cardinals road favorite, yeah.
And the public is also betting the Cardinals here. Not big, but 57%. I respect that, but the line's shifted 3 points from 3.5 to 6.5. That's more of a move than a 57% wagering edge would dictate. The books don't want you betting on the Cardinals. So I'll be betting on the Cardinals.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. We're going to do it every single Friday. Well, aside from next Friday, where I'll be in New Orleans for New Orleans and the 49ers. And I'm going to go to the swamp, Dennis, like the literal swamp. I'm going to the swamp, not the swamp where you watch football. That's in Florida. But I am going to Baton Rouge to watch Florida take on LSU in a night game there. So that'll be pretty cool.
Saturday night, is that when that is?
Saturday night. Yep, Saturday night. And then we're going to get one of those fan boats, go check out the Gators. And I'm going to try to push one of my buddies in, see how that goes, and film it.
My best friend lives in Florida,
content.
And he's got an airboat. So we go out there and
really?
Alligators are big. Yeah, JR is my buddy in Florida. When Pam and I go back to visit him, we take turns. I go 1 year there, he comes here 1 year. And so when we go to Florida, he takes us out in his boats, and it's seeing gators out there where they're he hunts gators. Now this is nuts. I would avoid a gator and think I won. You get a license in August. You have to hunt gators at night. Really, you're going to get into a little boat and go out at night in the marsh, and then pull a gator into your boat. And I said, I'm not interested, Jerry. He says, well, you wouldn't be here then anyway, because we do that in August. And my daughter Erin said to me one year when I said I was going to visit JR when we first became friends, she said, he's taking you out in the marsh. What kind of season did you have? So I told JR that, and he said, you tell your daughter, I'll be giving you the sharper knife. I'm not sure that was exactly something that soothed her concern But yeah, they hunt alligator, and you got to get a license to do it. They have a lottery to do it, and it's a night in August that they pull these things into their boats.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's a manly.
Good.
So good luck, and there. I hope
Yeah.
you get some nice scatters on your airbug.
No, it should be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to doing this though every single week. We've been doing it for 20 years. I see no reason to stop it. So you're available. I'm available. We're available. Let's see if we can get some winners this year. And again, it's pigsfootball.com, pigsfootball.com, Quad Size Sports. A lot of good free stuff on there. A lot of really good stuff on there. So go check it out. See if it's something you'd be interested in. And the thing I love about Dennis is not only has he been a long-term winner, he's very, very honest. And in this business, that's hard to come by. So we always appreciate you telling us when you win, when you lose. I mean, I already know anyway. So I get all your plays, and I have for years. And let's put it this way. That's your best endorsement. Why would I get your plays for years if you sucked? I mean, that'd make no sense, no matter how much I liked you. Have a great weekend. Let's see if we can get off to a good start this weekend.
Hey, thanks a lot, Tom.
And let's go Giants, Big Blue. Take it easy, Dennis.
Thank you, sir.
All right, take it easy. That was Dennis Ranahan. He's going to be joining us, like I said, every single Friday. He just is a really, really great guy. And I knew as soon as I started this, I wanted to have him come on Fridays and continue our relationship, talk NFL. And this time we don't have a clock, which is nice. We could talk as long as we want. We could talk as many games we want. Sometimes it'll go a little bit shorter. Sometimes it'll go a little bit longer if there's better games or better betting opportunities to talk about. So that will be a part of Fridays. Dr. Bob will probably be a part of Fridays. For those of you wondering why I know Dr. Bob this week, he actually has a job. So he's busy. He's busy. He told me weeks 2 and 3 are his busiest weeks doing adjustments for college football. So, and I told him that's fine then. We'll reconvene in week 4 when I get back from New Orleans. All right, we got a little time now. We can get into the Niners and the Seahawks. How concerned is everyone? Let's get to Todd's quote. What was Todd's question again? I mean, Todd paid for it. You might as well get to him. He had 2. Oh, because he wanted to know if Lou could eat peanut butter on camera. What are you trying to exploit my dog? Really? I mean, come on. Can't do that to Lou. Yeah, Lou would probably love that. You kidding me? Lou'd probably be super pumped to eat peanut butter. She doesn't care if it's on air or not. Yeah, you can see her go. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can make that happen. And then could we get Dante Kolsky or Rod Brooks on the show? Yeah, I mean, we're always looking, I guess, and who we're going to have on and what kind of fits the schedule and everybody else's schedule too. And what am I having for dinner tonight? That is a great question that I don't even know the answer to. Lori's going to a concert. She's going with a friend to see Teddy Swims. I don't think that's his real name, but I'm not positive. Weston's in Vegas. And Camila will be out at the ranch in Patterson. So Haley and I'm thinking cheeseburger tonight. I'm just thinking solid cheeseburger from Scolari's here in Alameda. It's it really, really, I love Scolari's. You can go to Lucky 13, grab a beer, get your burger, wait for your burger, drink your beer. Speaking of beer, in Alameda, you got to stop by Park Station. It's a new beer garden. It's really good beer selection. You know, you never know with beer gardens, right? What the beer selection is going to be. They have Fieldwork. They have Sante Aderis. They have Cellar Maker. They had Beechwood. They had, what else did they have over there? God, they had all kinds of really, really good stuff. I mean, they had IPAs, they had lagers, they had ambers, they had reds, they had stouts, they had sours, they had ciders. I mean, it is really cool. Outdoor. And there's a place called Southeast is it's a brick and mortar. It's not a food truck. Most of the places have food trucks. It's a brick and mortar place called Southeast. Yeah, there it is. It's right there. So it was pretty cool. Teddy Swims is not playing there, so don't go there tonight expecting Teddy Swims. Teddy Swims at the Greek. And so, yeah, I was there for Walker's birthday. So go over there and check that out and see if you like it. You might run into me over there. You got an indoor place. You can see it on the right there, and it has 3 TVs, 3 big TVs, so you can watch the games there. And then outdoor, they got a bunch of picnic tables out there, and that's where we sat and had our dinner. Had a pork sandwich, a spicy pig, I think is what they called it. But again, the beer selection is really, really nice. The best beer selection in Alameda. And that's saying something, because Lucky 13 has a fantastic beer selection. They have a great beer selection. Now McGee's, another buddy of mine owns that place. I love that place too, because they have solid beer, although that's not really what they're going for. If you want to go watch a game, go to McGee's. McGee's is where you go to watch a game. They got all the packages and all the games and everything, and everybody's there. Maybe gambling, maybe not really sure, but so like it's cool because we have 3 distinct places and they all have like their own little different vibe. But yeah, gonna go check out Park Street. That'd be cool because I do enjoy that place. So Niners, how's everybody feeling about McCarthy? I don't like McCarthy. Joe McCarthy to me was just an interesting character, interesting political figure. He had bad calves too, believe it or not. I just read that today on Wiki. You never can trust Wiki. I don't know. Like, I guess we'll know more about McCaffrey Monday or maybe even Sunday night. Hopefully not Sunday at like 1:45. Hopefully that's not when we find out like, oh God, screwed. And let me just say this though. If they lose McCaffrey, like if McCaffrey blows a calf, does it hurt? Of course it hurts. Christian McCaffrey, if he's healthy, he's one of the best backs in the game. I mean, you're probably looking at Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, Barkley, Henry, like 4 or 5 guys that could change the outcome of a game, that could dictate the season of the team they're on. Maybe not completely dictate it, but have a good say-so in it. So if he's out, hell yeah, that's going to hurt. It's going to sting, but it's not season over. Brian Robinson Jr. is a good back. Are you telling me Brian Robinson Jr. can't do what Matt Breida did? What Raheem Mostert did? What Elijah Mitchell did? Like, these guys are, you didn't know these dudes. You had no idea. First off, you had no idea Raheem Mostert went to Purdue. And secondly, you didn't know he surfed. Not a chance you knew he surfed. You're like, whoa, bro surfs. Wow, pretty cool. You did not know Elijah Mitchell went to Louisiana. He was a raging Cajun. You had no idea that Matt Breida went to, where the fuck did Matt Breida go? I have no idea where Matt Breida went. Does anybody here know? Like, without looking? No and no. That's no. Lou doesn't know either. Nobody knows where Matt Breida went. Like, Matt Breida's been in the league a long time. I still don't know where Matt Breida went. I do know where Mostert went, and I do know where Mitchell went. At least I think I know where Mitchell went. I think he went to Louisiana. Oh, Georgia Southern? That's where he went? Okay, that sounds familiar, yeah. But those guys were averaging 4.5, 4.8, 5 yards a carry. Brian Robinson Jr. could do the same. Now, I don't know about hands out of the backfield. I think most he's ever had is like 35, 36 catches in a year. So not really his forte, but he's a guy that can run. He's tough. And the season is not going to be over. It's not like, oh, Christian McCaffrey's out. It's over. Now, here's what I wonder. Did they get him knowing that Christian McCaffrey's calf wasn't feeling 100%? I don't know. Because it did seem a little odd that they went out and got him 3 weeks ago. It's like, huh, interesting. Going to get Brian Robinson Jr. I mean, if they did, great. I mean, that's actually a good move. So there you go. Said he feels great physically and said he's proud of himself. Great. He's proud of himself for feeling something Thursday and doing the smart thing. Man, usually it takes a little bit more to be proud of yourself, doesn't it? Anyway, pulling himself out of practice. I've been there before, and I've been my own worst enemy in that situation. So Look, here's the thing. And I don't really care if he's proud of himself or not. I'm glad he caught it before it, but the fact that it's there, the fact that he felt anything whatsoever, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me when they say, "Oh, a pitcher, had forearm tightness, but it's not in the elbow," and you're like, "Bro, fucking that Tommy John's about to happen like a week from now. It's done." Or somebody will have an ankle injury, and then 2 years later, the same ankle gets hurt. They're like, "Oh, it's not related to the other ankle injury." Yeah, goddamn right it is. Don't tell me it's not related to the other ankle injury. And then a month later, they're getting season-ending surgery. So look, this kept him out all last year. This was something that in camp last year was, let me get the air quotes, precautionary, that he will be ready for week 1. And then after week 1, he'll be ready for week 2. And then after week 2, he'll be ready for week 3. I don't even remember what week he played. What was it, like 12 or 13? Came back for a week or 2 and then out. See it. Done. Toast. So don't tell me, like, if you're a Niner fan, you shouldn't be going, "Oh." You're going to be doing that all year long. All year long, you're going to do that. Especially if you have in fantasy. Thank God he didn't get to me. I was drafting 12th. I was like, please don't get to me. Because if you're there at 12, I'm taking you. Somebody took him at 2 in our draft. 2. Ouch. And my brother's pumped. Because my brother's a huge Niner fan. He drafts at 3. He's like, oh. He goes, I think I was going to pass him up and take Barkley. He got Bijan Robinson at 3. I was like, hey, you lucky bastard. So I'm going to be thinking, one push off and this dude's going down like this toast. Like right now, you give me odds on whether he makes it through the season or not. I'm going to take the don't come. I'm betting the don't come. All right. I'm going to be at the guy at the table when you're on 11. I'm going to be going, woo. The rest of the table's going to be like, fucker. Woo. 7 out, bitches. Let's go. Give my money. That's going to be me. Except I'm not going to be pumped. I'm not going to be happy because I like watching the guy play. I've been very consistent when I've said this over the years. I want to watch the best players play the game. That's it. And when they don't play, it's not as fun to watch. So what is that? Open room media longer room. He feels great and plans to play on Sunday. Said, unfortunately, with the injury history, I have sometimes you don't practice things, get blown out of proportion. But like I said, I feel great. Well, fucking don't say calf then. It's like Ben Stiller and Meet the Fockers when he goes bomb, 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 bomb. You can't say bomb on a plane. You know that. Like, you can't say calf if you're Christian McCaffrey right now. You just can't. Calf, 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 calf. Everybody's going to be like, fuck, no, not calf, not calf. No, don't say calf. Like, I'm sorry. You should know this. If you say calf, people are going to freak out. They're going to freak out because how important you are to the 49ers. So don't just say, yeah, just a light workout for me. Say you felt something in your shoulder. Say you felt something in your toe. If it's not that big a deal, just make something up. I felt something in my larynx. I ate a dry English muffin. Yeah, I just got wedged in there a little bit. I just like a cat. Don't say calf, okay? Don't say calf, not expect people to like go, excuse me, what'd you say, calf? And then do the fucking, just like the panic shot. And so we'll see. We'll see. But I'm definitely betting the don't come, the don't pass line. I keep saying don't come line. What am I, a fucking porn movie or something? Don't come line. Don't do that. The don't pass line. There are come bets though. Peter North likes to play those. No, I'm just kidding. Where you put your money out and then whatever the roll is next, that's where they put it, and you get good odds on though. I think you get true odds on those. But the don't pass line is where I don't like to bet the don't pass line because then you're just a dick. You're just being a dick. And if you're gonna bet the don't pass line, don't cheer. Just take your money and go. Don't be pumped at a table where there's 13 people and they're bummed and you're the only guy that's pumped. Unless you want to be that guy. If you want to be that guy, be that guy, but you're just being an asshole just for the sake of being an asshole. And so, and I bet they don't pass. I bet it. I just don't cheer when I win. I just give my money and quietly put it in my pocket or just keep it on the table and re-up if I want to and good to go. So I don't know. This game to me, I think if I were betting it, Dennis said he'd take the 49ers. He's not betting it. I probably would take the Seahawks. I'm not going to bet it because I don't feel confident in it. The Seahawks offensive line stinks. Now, can the defensive line for the Niners take advantage of that? I'm not sure. What is that time? If you could ask Donald Trump one question, what would it be? You have to give me some time on that. I don't know. Their offensive line stinks. I don't know which is it. Are we getting Minnesota Darnold? We're getting Jets Darnold. I mean, remember, O'Connell is not there with him in Seattle. And Kevin O'Connell is like a really good offensive mind. And he puts him in the right position. Kirk Cousins was just a little bit better in Minnesota than Atlanta, wasn't he? And then he got hurt in Atlanta. But even before he got hurt, he was better in Minnesota. So I don't know. I don't know what their offense is going to look like. Their defense is good. I like their defense. Murphy and Williams on the defensive line, good defense. I just like their defense. Young, athletic. And you're at home. It's a tough place to play. They play well in openers there too. And so I would take the Seahawks if I had to. I don't, so I won't. And basically, I'm just taking, if the Niners were getting a point or two, I'd take them. I'm just taking the underdog in this game. But again, I'm not taking this game because I'd like to see the Niners win. And there'll be spots this year I bet against the Niners, no doubt about it. But this is not going to be one of them. Look, you guys know me. I have the utmost confidence in Brock Purdy. I think Purdy's really, really good. Really good. In fact, I think he's one of the top 6 to 8 quarterbacks in the game. The wide receivers, who knows? Just because Pearsall ended the season on a high note, remember, they were out of it at that point. Teams play you different. It's a different vibe in those type of games. So, hold on a second. Let me I got to text somebody. This concerns granddaughter pickup, so this is of the utmost importance. And so I don't need one job to do and then Phil to do it. So let me just make sure she is getting taken care of, and then I will take care of her after that. There. I mean, everybody knows where I'm at. We got to make sure we got to make sure Camila is taken care of. Okay, like I said, that's number one priority. Hey, come on, Mom. You can't be calling me. You can be texting. I should answer and go, "Hey, Mom, what's up?" Should I?
Put her on speaker.
Yeah, let me put her on speaker. All right, hey, everybody, I'm going to introduce you to my mom on the podcast. Hold on. Hey, Mom.
What's going on?
I'm doing the show right now.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay. You're actually on the show. I'm putting the phone up to the microphone.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Everybody can hear you.
Oh, great. That sounds good.
Yeah, you're gonna be on the show today. If we had a picture of you, we'd just put that up there.
Oh boy, that's what we don't need.
You ready for a big football weekend?
Am I ready for a big football weekend? Oh yeah, can't wait.
Can't wait. What game are you most excited to watch this weekend?
The first one.
Do you know what the first one is?
No.
Oh, well, the first one already happened, Mom. The first one was last night.
Oh, see.
Do you have any idea who played in that game?
I don't think so.
Okay, Cowboys, Eagles.
Oh, how'd the Eagles do?
They won.
Good.
I'm sure Daylene was happy.
Why?
Because she likes the Eagles.
Oh.
Doesn't she?
Really? Okay.
I think so.
I'm not. I don't know if she knows or she. This is pro football, right?
Yeah, it's pro football, Mom.
I don't think she really likes the pro football. She just likes the college.
No, that could be true. That could be true. I know she likes Oklahoma and Oregon. It's a weird mix of teams that she likes. Anyway.
Yeah,
All right.
and throw in some Michigan.
All right. I was calling you. Did you get a hold? Yeah, Michigan. Did you get a hold of it? No, Michigan State, Mom. That's Michigan State.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Did Weston get a hold of you?
No, I just got home.
Where were you?
Well, I had some errands to run, and I had to play bingo.
How'd you know? Do we win?
No.
Dang. Again.
I know it.
You got to get some wins.
I know. I know.
Well, you need to call him because he called you a couple hours ago trying to see if you're home. They're going to come over and say hi.
Today?
Yeah.
Well, why didn't somebody let me know earlier?
Well, I tried to call you and tell you, and he was gone. I mean, he said that he wanted to call you because you were going to take an Uber over, but you weren't there.
Well, I know. I was playing bingo.
I know. Oh, well. Well, give him a call, text him, and let him know that you're available and see if he has time or whatever. Because I know he wanted to come over before anybody else came over.
So who's all here? Lisa and Sahar? Or?
No, Sahar is. Elisa and Walker are here.
Say that again?
Elisa and Walker are in Alameda. Sahar and Weston are there.
Oh, isn't that what I said?
I don't. What?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. Just to make sure I have your permission to use this on the air, right? So you don't sue me.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll sue you.
See, I just wanted to make sure you're not going to sue me.
Yeah, no. Oh my God.
All right. Well,
okay.
text Weston or call him and just see if you guys can get together.
Okay, I will do that.
All right. I'll try to give you a call later on tonight or tomorrow.
Okay, love you.
All right. Love you, Mom.
Love you.
Bye. Love you. Bye. All right. Let's see. Okay. Camila's taken care of. All right. Where the hell were we, by the way? My mom is the best. I love my mom. My mom, I know maybe some of you have moms. God dang, Mom's calling back again. Are you kidding me? Yes, Mother?
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I thought I was calling Weston. Goodbye now.
Goodbye, Mom. Love you. God dang. Oh my goodness. Oh, Mom. Oh boy. Whew. All right. So everybody's taken care of, okay? Everybody's good to go. Oh gosh. I didn't think my mom played bingo on Friday. She usually doesn't play bingo on Friday. It's usually Mondays. And then Wednesdays sometimes, but Fridays she usually doesn't play because it's too crowded. And she doesn't like the crowds. And they pay the same regardless of how many people go. So she just goes when it's less crowded. But my mom, I was going to say, Mom's the best. My mom is like the definition of mom. You put in the dictionary under mom, that's my mom. Growing up, the one that, she disciplined us, but she also was there. We needed a hug, needed some uplifting, needed some dessert, needed our favorite meal, whatever. That was Mom. Mom's, I love her to death. She's just, oh man. So my son and his girlfriend are in Vegas for a birthday, one of their friends' birthday. They got this friends group. So they all went to Vegas and they wanted to visit my mom. So they called her. Anyway, I was trying to hook that up. I go, let me call Grandma, see if she can get a hold of you. But she was playing bingo. So there you go. So anyway, so again, I would bet Seattle. Don't love it. So, but look, I think Purdy. You know what I think of Purdy? Wide receiver room to me is a little shaky. I don't know what Jennings is going to be the first game. I like Jennings. It was good last year, but he didn't practice. You're just going to throw him out there and he's going to be the same guy? Don't know. I talked about Pearsall. Pearsall was really good last year at the end of last year, but that was the end of last year. Oh, those games, and I always kind of hate to say they weren't for something. Everything's always for something, but it's not for like big stakes because you're not going anywhere. So we'll see how he performs. Offensive line, as long as they have Trent Williams, I think the offensive line will be like a top half offensive line. Love the running back room if it's healthy. So we'll see. To me, the big question mark is, can they stop the run? And do they have a defensive end opposite Bosa now? Is Williams that guy? Is Williams going to be that guy? Other than that, safeties, we'll see. Pennick's a veteran. Mustafa's hurt. He won't be out. He'll be back at some point. And who's going to be? They have two guys opposite, maybe Pennick. They could play Brown. And who's the other one that I'm missing on right now? Anyway, I'll go Upton Stout. I'm really excited to see. Not that you can see a nickelback ply his trade all over the field because the camera follows the ball, but I feel good right now about Green, Stout, Lenore. I like that. I like that threesome. Fred Warner, Bosa are just, you don't even need to worry about them. Like they're good to go. So, and I'm not going to get into special teams, okay? I'm just not. Until special teams messes something up, we won't get into them. Oh, boy. We definitely need like one more person to jump on this thread because when I look over there and I see a number pop up, oh, there it is. Thank God. It was 666 for a while. And anytime it's a number 666, I just like to get off that number. Not that I believe in that sort of thing, but, why take the chance? Why take the chance? You never know when Damien could pop up in your backyard. You don't want to see it. Pretty good song, though, by Iron Maiden. I do enjoy that. So we got that obviously going this weekend. We talked about all the games, the big games in the NFL. College, kind of a slow college weekend. We got Michigan and Oklahoma. Anybody have any ideas when the last time Michigan played Oklahoma in the regular season? Never. They've played one time in a bowl game. I think it was in the 90s. I think it was like the Orange Bowl. And I think if I remember correctly, it was like 91, 92, somewhere around there. They have never played during the regular season. How crazy is that? Sharon Moore, the head coach of Michigan, used to play at Oklahoma as a lineman at Oklahoma. You get John Mateer, who was the number one player or quarterback, could have been quarterback, maybe even player in the transfer portal last year, went from Washington State to Oklahoma. Then you get Bryce Underwood, who was the number one recruit last year, ends up going to Michigan. He was bound for LSU. I'm sure he got more money. Then decided to go to Michigan. So that one's 5.5 points, 5.5 points. I think I'm going to go Michigan in that one. That just seems like a lot of points in what could be not a low scoring. I don't know if college has low scoring games, but lower scoring game. Brent Venables' defense didn't do anything wrong last year. The offense wasn't great, and Mateer's going to help. You didn't see Mateer play last year at Washington State. That dude's a baller. He's a flat baller. So if the offense can pick up, the receivers are better this year. The defense, like I said, nothing wrong with the defense over there. Michigan defense seems to always be pretty good. And I didn't get a chance to see him play last year against New Mexico or last week against New Mexico. And again, Oklahoma played Illinois State. So you're not going to learn a whole lot from watching them play those two teams. And then you get the Cy-Hawk game, Iowa State. Now, this is one I did bet. I took Iowa in this one, plus the 3.5 points. Not since 2016, I believe it is, has a team in the Cy-Hawk series won by more than 10 points. Not since 2005 has Iowa State won by more than 3 points. So it's been 20 years since Iowa State won this game and then won it by more than 3 points. It seems to be always close. Points are always at a premium. And I expect this to be no different. I expect it to be a, 20-17, 21-20, 17-14. So I'm going with Iowa in this one. I'm going to go with the Hawkeyes, whose offense seems to be on the uptick a little bit better than when Kirk Ferentz had his son running the offense, where it was one of the most brutal things you'd ever seen. And I'm not sure. Texas San Jose. I'll get to that one in a minute. I didn't really have an interest in that one, but I do want to get to a couple of those based on what happened last week. So I'm going Iowa. That's the one game I'm taking. I'm probably going to go Michigan. I'm not sure about that one, but I will go Iowa. Todd wants to know about San Jose and Texas. Look, San Jose lost to Central Michigan at home last week. So I'm not loving their chances getting the 37 going to Texas, but their offense can click a little bit. And I'm going to check real quick for you just to make sure I have this number right. I want to see how many yards they put up last week, because they were like 14-point favorites last week. Ended up losing outright to Central Michigan. That was a bad loss. And they had 2 chances to win the game on field goals in the last quarter and missed both of them. That could have given them the lead. I think they lost 16-14 is what the score was. Let me get it up for you real quick. Let's see. San Jose, Central Michigan. Okay, don't be a dick. Where are you? I thought that was a late game. San Jose, Central Michigan. It was a late game. Anyway, I'm not finding it right now. I'll find it. I'm gonna get it. I'll just go to this week. Texas. Now that's got to be a 4:00 game. Probably not. I'm gonna watch. I want to watch the Cal game. No, I don't. I do, but I don't. I'm not watching Texas Southern. So I'll wait till Cal plays it. I want to see that young quarterback play again. Michigan, Oklahoma's at 4:30. So if you're interested in that one, Arizona State, Mississippi State, 4:30. That's not a great one. Yeah, it's just not a great slate next week. The week after that's a pretty good slate. And I'll be gone for that one, so which kind of sucks. I can't sit on my ass and watch all these games. So here's the game. This is literally, someone take San Jose State off my phone. Like, it's impossible that I can't find San Jose. There they are. San Jose State schedule. Let's see what kind of yards they put up against Central Michigan. They lost 16-14. First downs were 20 to Central Michigan, 19 San Jose State. Total yards 351 to 383. So pretty close game. Central Michigan was 2 for 13 on third downs. And San Jose was 8 for 16. I mean, that's good, but you should have won. There you go. Interceptions 2. Central Michigan none. Fumbles 1 for, so they're -3 in turnovers. So there's your rub. Like, because I would like to go with San Jose in that one, just because I know they can throw the ball a little bit. Walker Eggett is not bad. 37 is a lot of points, but Texas lost last week. And here's like the psychology of last week that I was kind of looking at. Okay, Texas lost. Texas pissed off. Arch Manning didn't play well. They want to get that offense up and running. Nothing wrong with the defense. Let's not forget that Texas defense held Ohio State, who was at home, to 200 yards. 200. That was a dominant defensive performance. They only got 300 yards. They lost the turnover battle. But it had nothing to do with their defense. So if that defense holds Ohio State to 200, how many is San Jose going to put up? I mean, I have a feeling Texas is going to get out big in a hurry. Now, how long do they really feel like going to the whip? When do they call the dogs off? And if San Jose sticks with their starters, they can score against the backups. Like they can put up some garbage points. So even if it's like 49-7 in the fourth quarter, you might have a shot there. In fact, you will have a shot there. So I'm not crazy about that game. The one that I'm interested in that I really wanted to, I really wanted to take Louisiana Tech over LSU. LSU, tough game. Go to Death Valley, grind that thing out, beat Clemson 17-10, and then turn around next week. Who do they have? Florida. Louisiana Tech, right dab in the middle. Like their minds are going to be anywhere but Louisiana Tech. Like literally anywhere but Louisiana Tech. They're going to be like, Louisiana Tech, we're going to kill these guys. Didn't Karl Malone go to Louisiana Tech? I'd be like, yeah. But what does that have to do with this football game? That's where their minds are going to be. And so I in my mind, I was thinking, okay, it's a perfect setup, right? Perfect setup to take Louisiana Tech, because Louisiana Tech's usually pretty decent. And I looked and I go, okay, who did Louisiana Tech play last week? I think they played Southeast Louisiana or Southeast Missouri. Southeast Louisiana. Oh, they won 24-0. All right, they might be somewhat competent. Southeast Louisiana, 18 first downs. Louisiana Tech, 9. They had 9 first downs against Southeast Louisiana. I don't even know Southeast Louisiana's nickname, and that's rare. Like anybody on this list, like mostly it's like, yeah, of course I know their nickname. I've been following college football, wagering college football. Like I know their nicknames. I don't know Southeast Louisiana's nickname. Don't. So you should get more than 9 first downs against a team that I don't know their nickname. You should get more than 262 yards against a team I don't know their nickname. In fact, Southeast Louisiana outgained Louisiana Tech by 10 yards. Oh,
Lions.
The Lions? Okay, yeah, I had no idea. And the coup de Gracie, or as you like to say, coup de grace, Southeast Louisiana was -3 in turnovers. -3 in turnovers. If you're worth your salt, you win that game 38-0. You outgain them by 150, 200 yards. They didn't. So this one would be one where I would just be going completely on the schedule. Completely on LSU overlooking Louisiana Tech. The problem here is I fear that Louisiana Tech might be overlooked and might not be good enough to matter. Like LSU might just stomp them regardless. They might sleepwalk to a 49-0 victory. Because when you get outgained by Southeast Louisiana and you get out first down by Southeast Louisiana, and now you have to go to LSU and play, I mean, good night. That could get ultra ugly. You grubbing up? Thank you. The big show today. We had Lou, we had Mom. We're all good. Oh my gosh.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Mom, you call back. Oh shit. That'll probably show up on that'll probably resurface, I'm sure, at some point, and Mom will love it. All right, I'm gonna take some comments, but before we do, I got to get to this, because as you know by now, and as I've said, Weston is in Vegas, and we had to take care of Camila. So Haley and I got her up this morning and got her off to school. And while we should have walked, because it's an easy walk to school, we drove. I have not drove to school to drop off a kid in 20 years. Haley was our last to drive to school and drop off. We went to a different school. So Camila goes to Bay Farm. We didn't go to Bay Farm back then because they were year round. So we drove to Earhart. We don't have to drive to this school. We could walk. But guess what? Camila didn't want to walk. So guess what? We didn't walk, which sucked. So I drove, and it's so nice to see how some things change and some things don't. I mean, look, some things change. Like college football now has playoffs. College football now has NIL. Craft beer has all kinds of different options. There are more than 2 genders. There's a bunch of stuff that has changed since 2005. Now there's some things that haven't changed. Football, NFL football, pretty similar. A few tweaks here and there, but pretty similar to the way it used to be. Under things that change, I could have included baseball too. Pitch clock, bigger bases, all that. So things are changing. Some things haven't changed. One of the things that hasn't changed is parents are still fucking morons when they drop their kids off. How hard is it to understand this basic rule? There is a section at school that's clearly marked that is for drop off and for pickup. And when you drop off your kid, you don't have your kid wait in the car and finish up their game of Pokemon Go or whatever the hell they're playing and sit there in the loading zone or the drop-off zone waiting for your kid to get done. You don't wait until 2 minutes before the bell to drop your kid off. You don't have a conversation with your kid in that zone. Here's what you do, and it's really simple. You drive into the zone, you drop your kid off. If your kid doesn't want to get out, you go, get the fuck out. They get out, you shut the door, you leave. Within 15 seconds, you're done. Then guess what? We keep moving. You're out, I'm in, I'm out, she's in, she's out, she's in, she's out. It works beautifully. But when you get 7 cars in the drop-off zone that want to sit there and either talk to their kid, finish up their song, do one more little correction on their homework, or just hang out until there's a minute before class starts because, don't drop me off. I don't want to get out. What am I going to do? Like the kid, I don't give a fuck what you do. Just get out of the car, okay? You're killing me here. Get out so I can move on. It was the same way 20 years ago. 20 years ago, all it took were 4 idiots to screw up drop-off. And they did it continually screw up drop-offs. And then you had to double park and drop your kid off. You had to wait behind them, which caused a traffic jam behind you. And it just pisses everybody off. So maybe I will take a second job. Maybe I will be. I'm going to go. Remember Adrian Dantley? I think Adrian Dantley might be a Hall of Famer. I know he's made a bunch of All-Star games, played for the Lakers, played for the Jazz, tremendous power forward back in the day. He's a crossing guard. I don't want to be a crossing guard. I want to be the guy at school that deals with the loading zone, pick up and drop off. The only one thing I will ask, 2 things I will ask. A bullhorn and the ability to curse. That's all I want. A bullhorn and the ability to curse. Because I literally get the fuck out of here. Now. And I'll put on my mean face. It's going to be like this. Yo, get the fuck out. Now. Go. Get out of here. I will pop your tire, crack your windshield, and maybe even your skull. Move. That's probably not going to go over well, especially for the kindergartners. But I don't know if you understand how frustrated this makes me. Like I get super upset with this because it's just a lack of etiquette. It's just caring about yourself and not others. And I hate that. I hate when someone makes I hate when someone on the road makes a mistake and makes you pay the price. Like, I'm going to take a U-turn here, even though I'm not supposed to. Or I'm going to do this in front of you. You're just going to have to put up with it. Like, no, this is you. This your fault. You suffer the consequences. Don't make me suffer the consequences. So I don't know whether you're late for school, whether your kid didn't put on their shoes, whether they got their underwear on the wrong way. I don't know. All I know is get out of line, fix it on the street, and then get back in line. It's not that hard. It really isn't that hard. Just pay attention. Just care about other people as much as you care about yourself. Okay? This is about community. This is about everybody working together. This is about everybody doing what needs to be done to make something run smoothly. Just do it. Just do it. Okay? Just do it, please. God. I like I like PTSD. I'm going through this again. I didn't go through it in 20 years, and now 20 years later, I still have the same feelings. Like I don't want to say I want to take a bat to someone's kneecaps, but I kind of do. I kind of do. I kind of want to teach them a lesson, or at least beat the crap out of a car, because it really that's. I don't have a ton of pet peeves, but that's one of my pet peeves. One of my pet peeves is parents don't know how to drop their kids off, don't know how to pick their kids up. It's upsetting. Is what it is. It's upsetting. All right, let's take a few comments. Throw them up there, and we will get to them before we get out of here on a Friday. And we got to play tonight. We got the Chargers. How about that? I like the fact we had to play tonight. You don't have to play it, but I'm going to play it now. Am I taking Tampa or Atlanta? Probably nobody, because I would like to take Atlanta. They're one of those teams over the last few years. I'm like, oh, Atlanta this year. Oh, Atlanta this year. And then Atlanta shits the bed. But they got Penix. I like Penix quite a bit. But man, it's hard to go against. Never thought I'd say this. Hard to go against Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's he's completely turned me around on him. I like Baker Mayfield now. He's a tough SOB, good leader. Guys like playing for him. So probably not going to do anything with that game. I'll probably skip that game altogether. I'm curious to see how Ibuka does with Godwin being out. I like Evans. I'm a big Bucky Irving guy. I love Bucky ball. I had Bucky on my team last year in fantasy, and then I watched him play at Oregon. Like Bucky's a bad dude, and their defense is solid. So I like Tampa, but I'm just curious how Atlanta's offense is going to be with Penix. Like Drake London really took a step up last year in targets and production when Penix took over. Bijan Robinson's a stud. Here's the question: can Atlanta rush the passer? They drafted 1,000 defensive ends this year. So we'll see if they can get to the passer, because they haven't been able to get to the passer in quite some time, and that's killed their defense, just destroyed their defense. So if they can get to the passer, interesting. But this is a game I want to watch, but I want to learn from this game. I don't really have an interest in betting this game. Thanks, KJ. Appreciate it. All right, what else do we got? When did Shaq become the GM? Not that long ago. I think Shaq became the GM of Sacramento State maybe 2-3 months ago. I believe Steph is the GM of the Davidson Wildcats too. Like you're seeing these players go back and be the GM of their team. Is Damian Lillard maybe GM of Weber? I'm not sure. But the funny thing is, unless I missed something, Shaq didn't go to Sacramento State. He went to LSU. So I don't know. It's just a weird that let me be the GM of I don't know, Sac State. Bzz, bzz. What are they, the Hornets? So I don't know. Any Warriors news? Nope, haven't heard any Warriors news at all. Still waiting on Kuminga. What's Kuminga gonna do? I mean, he's going to sign at some point. It's just, is he going to sign for the qualifying offer, or is he going to take the 2-year deal? I've told you all along, I think it's going to be the qualifying offer, because I don't think he wants to give them control in the second year of that contract. But yeah, once he signs, then everybody will sign. And then you'll see, I think you'll see Horford sign. You'll see Melton sign, unless Horford retires. But I think he's going to sign. So it's been the weirdest offseason for the Warriors. Because of Kuminga, they haven't been able to sign anybody. I think they're the only team in the NBA that hasn't done anything this offseason. because they're all waiting on Jonathan Kuminga. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's see. Will Jaden regress like Stroud or excel like Lamar? Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see. I don't know if it's going to be as smooth for Jaden Daniels this year as it was last year. Again, I mean, obviously he didn't hit 130% of his fourth downs, but he hit a lot, like 80+%. Like they were incredible on fourth down. He was incredible last year. It's almost like a dream season for him. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, let's remember Lamar Jackson, it wasn't like a linear shot from like good or meteoric, I should say. Maybe it was linear. It did kind of go boop, 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 boop. But he struggled a little bit early on. And now he's like unquestionable, one of the top 5 guys, 4 guys, 3 guys in the game, I guess. I think Daniels ultimately will be good, but I hate crowning guys after a year because you don't know. Give him a couple years. Let him be good for a couple years, then we'll see how he is. I think long term, Jaden Daniels is going to be good. I don't know how good, but let's give him this year. We'll have a better idea after this year. So Steve Young be able to do a regular hit during football season? I think Steve's mostly retired. He said he'll come on occasionally, depending on what his schedule is. But I think he's kind of hit that wall where maybe it's time to shut it down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, look, I would love to have Steve on as much as possible, but I totally get it. But don't think I'm not just as pumped to have my guy Brent on. Brent's my guy. He's my guy. So no, I'm. It was those two basically for about 20 years. Brent and Steve, Brent and Steve, Brent and Steve. And anytime I can get either one of those guys on, I'm juiced. So to have Brent on Mondays, like he's always been, throughout the year is going to be awesome. Man, I can't wait. It's going to be like doing the show. I can't wait for Mondays because Brent's coming on Mondays. So that's going to be a lot of fun. All right. What else we got? Okay. Todd. Okay. We're talking tennis now. Now you're talking my game right here. You know me, I'm a big tennis guy. Anna Kournikova? Yeah, she's hot. I remember her. Oh, that's not Kournikova. Well, Anna with an OVA. So Alisonova is in the tennis finals tomorrow. Bro, I love you, Ty, but what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I have no idea. Is she even American? I have not. What didn't they just get? Oh no, they're done. What? I'm like I'm talking to myself. I'm like, what? What? Are we still in the U.S. Open? Are we? I thought the U.S. Open was done. We're not. We are still in the U.S. Open, huh? Okay. Ogden says yes. We're still there. Yeah, I did. God, I used to follow tennis all the time. I just haven't followed it at all over the last, I don't know, 40 years. But man, when I was like 19, that was my tennis heyday. Bjorn Borg, John McEnroe, Yvonne Lendl, Yvonne Goolagong. Oh, big time. Martina Navratilova, Chris Lloyd, Jimmy Connors. When did I stop watching? About Roddick, I guess. Roddick was about the time I stopped watching. I don't know. I was talking about that with a buddy a couple days ago. I've given up on tennis and I've given up on boxing, which is a damn shame because I love boxing. But now that like Terrence Bud Crawford and Canelo are fighting, I guess on Mexican Independence Day, which is unofficially like Canelo Alvarez Day. I think he fights on that day every year if he can. I'll watch it. It's on Netflix, but I haven't kept up with it. Once they went to DAZN or DAZN or whatever the hell it is, I just stopped. I stopped following boxing. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to get DAZN. It's a stupid name anyway. I don't want to get it because I don't want all the other boxing that goes with it. But man, I used to love boxing, love the pay-per-views. I went to the fights. Well, I mean, they sent me to the fights. I didn't go to them. I usually went over to my parents' house to watch fights. But I was there for De La Hoya and Trinidad. I was there for Hopkins and De La Hoya. I was there for Mosley and De La Hoya. I mean, I was there for a lot of fights. I just love boxing is awesome when it's really good. So, but no, but I know the tennis, I just haven't. But now that you said check it out, I guarantee nothing. I'd like to see. I'll check it out, but maybe. You said she was American though. All right. I mean, I'm jingoistic. I'm all for USA, USA, USA. So we'll see how that goes. But they're not. Again, Saturday is kind of a light day when it comes to college football. I gave you 2 games. That's kind of it. Maybe Illinois Duke might be something I check into. But other than that, God, Kansas, Missouri, border war, maybe. That may not be too bad. But again, this is a far cry from last week. And next week's going to be good too. Like I said, though, unfortunately, I have, let me see. I have a trip planned next week. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be fun. But, I'm that guy. Like if it's a lot of good games on the weekend, I just want to sit my ass on the couch and not move. Like and have some beer and that's it. Just leave me alone. Let me do my games. Next week, Kansas State, Arizona. I mean, not a big one for you, but for me, Clemson, Georgia Tech will be a good one. Who knows if Wisconsin, Alabama will be a big one, but you get Notre Dame, Texas A&M. That's a nice one. Florida, LSU, which I'll be at. That's a nice one. There's like 2 or 3 nice ones that are next week. So anyway, God, why is everybody? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I know. What do you want? You've already been fed. You can't come asking for more food. All right, a couple more comments and we'll get out of here. And I appreciate everybody joining the show. I really do appreciate the support. And thank you to everybody that came out when we were over at Fieldwork. It was nice to meet a number of you. And we're going to try to do a few more outings, remotes, get you guys out there, get some beers, and put names to faces. What's that? Will I wear pants again? Yep, funeral wedding. Funerals and weddings is what I'm trying to reserve pants for. So other than that, I'm going shorts. Just who I am, what I have the most of, what I'm most comfortable in. I just don't see any reason to wear pants. I don't have anything against pants. I just didn't grow up in pants. The profession I played didn't require me to wear pants. So no, I'm all about the shorts life. That's me. So, all right. Should we get on out of here? All right. Let's thank our guests, Dennis Ranahan, who'll be with us every single Friday throughout the football season. Thank you to Max. Thank you to Daniel for coming on over, hooking things up today and enjoying. Well, I don't know that they enjoyed. I know they enjoyed. My mom said shit. They enjoyed that part. That was a given. Mom might have stole the show. Mom was like the person that gets an Academy Award while being in the movie for like 2 minutes. And they give her like they give her like a best supporting actress. And they go, I know it's 2 minutes, but man, that 2 minutes was impactful. It was incredible. It was an incredible 2 minutes. Did you see? Congratulations, Mom. You get best supporting caller on the show, and you're only on it for a couple minutes. Well, let's thank my mom. Love you, Mom. And thank you for joining the show. All right, Monday we'll be back on. Next week, we're not sure exactly what we're doing. We may do Monday, Tuesday, not sure, but I will be in New Orleans Wednesday through Monday. So I might do a little bit of what I did in Germany. Give you a little view of New Orleans, French Quarter, Superdome, maybe Tiger Stadium. We'll show you Tiger Stadium from the outside at night and show you Tiger Stadium inside at night. So we'll do a little bit of that. And then maybe Sunday, I'll have the other 3 idiots get on a stream. And that could be, oh God, I mean, I don't think you can get sued on YouTube, but all four of us idiots after drinking, I don't know if that's going to be super smart, but we might try it. I'll just have a remote in my hand. I'll just detonate the camera if something happens. Boom! We'll just blow up the camera, blow up the feed, and we'll be good. Oh, I should say that this Sunday, Bergie will be over here. So we're going to do a show from the backyard after the Niner game. So between the 4:00 window and the start of Sunday night football game, we'll come back out in the backyard for like an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, and break down the Niner game. So make sure you join us for that. I mean, look, you can watch other shows. Why would you? You got an actual coach here. I'm going to have a coach with me. A guy that played D1 football and coached for 25 years and won 4 championships in California. So well, when you want to listen to him. Oh, yeah. And like a McDonald's All-American quarterback or All-American quarterback. I don't know why I got to keep giving you his credentials. I see everybody else on other shows. I'm like, well, these are just idiots. I actually got to know what he's talking about. So Bergie will be with us on Sunday. And then Monday, Brent Jones. Everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy the games tonight. Enjoy whatever you're doing this weekend. And thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bay Area Sports Collective, if you want to go to that'd be super sweet. Like, subscribe, that'd be super sweet. I don't want to put any pressure on you or anything. You got to hit that button. So, I don't want to make you go out of your comfort zone or go out of your way in any way. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you.